Okay, so we will start with the discussion. तो आपनकर दि तीनटा जिंस मन रखिए आपण समस्त ऑल टेस्ट मेकर रो ओके जो माने क्लास रे देथिले टेस्टडा आपण पाके हार्ड कॉपी अछि ताको रेफर करंतु जो माने ऑनलाइन देचंदी यू ओपन योर ऑल टेस्ट मेकर अकाउंट ठीक अछि सो वी विल डिस्कस ऑल द 100 क्वेश्चंस ओके टेस्ट 1 रे 50 टा थिला टेस्ट 2 रे 50 टा थिला सो वी विल डिस्कस ऑल द ऑप्शंस एंड किछटा ता ऊपर ओके एक्स्ट्रा डिस्कशन आपण करइबो आपण काम हला जो सॉल्यूशन रे जो डिटेल्ड एक्सप्लेनेशन होला दोची ताको टिके पढिबे काहे ना क्वेश्चन ता एग्जैक्टली एई क्वेश्चन ता न ही पारे क्वेश्चन ता ओके एक्सप्लेनेशन को नै कि से आ गोटे क्वेश्चन पचार दे पारे बट तारि भितरु आसीबो सेटा ओके सो इट इज इंपोर्टेंट दैट यू गो थ्रू इट एक्सप्लेनेशन ता टिके देखि देबे सो लेट अस स्टार्ट देन क्वेश्चन 1 आपनकर टेस्ट 1 रो which act was accepted as the first charita chapter लक्ष्मीकांत रो first charita chapter ऊपर टेस्ट हेतिला which act was accepted as provisional constitution of India after independence so that we know कि जोडा कि हमरो mother source of Indian constitution हमें कहउछु कोटा that is your government of India act 1935 okay so that will be the correct answer C would be the correct answer Government of India Act 1935 tara if you see okay कोन कोन एथरे थिला सेटा से देछि you can just go through the features okay 321 sections and 10 schedules एटा गोटे जनरल जिंस हम जतले कोनसी स्टैट्यूट को देखुछु ओके से स्टैट्यूट रे सेक्शन अछि जेंति कि इंडियन पिनल कोड रे में कहूछु ए सेक्शन ओके सेक्शन लेट्स से 420 ओके 498 ए एगुडा सब सेक्शंस कहूछ तो एटा गोटे डिफरेंस देखिबे 1935 एक्ट ता सेक्शंस रे थिला whereas आमे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन रे तको आर्टिकल्स कहलु ओके कैन एनीवन टेल मी द डिफरेंस बिटवीन सेक्शन एंड आर्टिकल आर्टिकल और सेक्शन भितर कौन डिफरेंस अछि यूडीएचआर रे हमें आर्टिकल्स देखि देलु जो माने ह्यूमन राइट्स क्लास ता करथले यूनिवर्सल डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ ह्यूमन राइट्स not exactly आर्टिकल और सेक्शंस ओके तार गोटे बहुत लीगल डिफरेंस तार अछि if anyone knows then tell me online रे जदि के जानचंती आर्टिकल और सेक्शन रे डिफरेंस कोन गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1935 रे हमें सेक्शंस कहलु ताको ओके whereas हमर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन जेतरे बनेलु ताको हम आर्टिकल्स कहलु सेमति हमर अलगा लॉज जेते सब अछि इंडियन पिनल कोड कोड ऑफ सिविल प्रोसीजर क्रिमिनल प्रोसीजर कोड एवडा सब सेक्शंस हम कहउछु किंतु कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन रो कहि हम आर्टिकल कहउछु if you know the exact answer right answer आपण कहि पारे otherwise you search it ओके सो इटा आपण करू टास्क दियाला 17 रे पचरी आ पई टिके बेसिक केटा लीगल जिंस हम जानिया पड़ियो ओके बट एनीवे इफ एनीवन नोस यदि के लॉ स्टूडेंट अछंती कहि परिबे अदरवाइज यू कैन व्हाट यू कैन डू इज यू सर्च इट अप 17th रे आई अगेन आस्क यू द क्वेश्चन ओके मते कहबे सेत बड़
सर ठीक से जाने और गेस नहीं
हां कोन तो
आर्टिकल ले खाली हमर तो हेडिंग टा था लाइक लिखाई दिबो किंतु सेक्शन ने आपण पूरा टोटली डिफाइन नहीं दिते से जिनसटा कि माने इथरे ए ऑर्डर रे ई आबो पूरा सेक्शन ने हेडिंग टाइप रे किछ न था
नहीं सेक्शन रे तार आपण जति देखिबे सब सेक्शंस उडा सेक्शंस रे तार टाइटल भी थाए तापर तार एक्सप्लेनेशन टा देताय सेटा नो कथा इट इज अ डिफरेंट आउ गोटे कनोटेशन रो सेटा डिफर करे ओके बट एनीवे ताकू जानिया पे हम आउ दिटा लीगल टर्म्स जानिया पड़ियो so we will do that on 17th okay but अपन निजे टिके चेष्टा करंतु जानिया पे डिफरेंस कोन आर्टिकल्स ऑफ सेक्शंस रो okay anyway so it is question number 1 government of India act 1935 now come to question number 2 तो एटा मिक्स क्वेश्चन अछि 100टा भितरु अराउंड 30टा खंडे अछि मल्टीपल स्टेटमेंट क्वेश्चन जोटा यूपीएससी रे पड़े आ बाकी 70टा खंडे हमर सिंगल स्टेटमेंट क्वेश्चन अछि एंती स्टेट पीएससी रे पड़े हु वाज द फर्स्ट गवर्नर जनरल ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट इंडिया फर्स्ट इंडियन गवर्नर जनरल ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट इंडिया फर्स्ट गवर्नर जनरल इतले तो माउंटबेटन हेतंदे ओके बट इंडियन गवर्नर जनरल तो चक्रवर्ती राजगोपालचारी सी राजगोपालचारी दैट वुड बी द ओके आंसर बुझ पाले तो एठी जो देछि फर्स्ट इंडियन गवर्नर जनरल बट आंसर आपनकर देछि ओके सी दैट इज माउंटबेटन सेटा भूल अछि ठीक अछि तो करेक्ट आंसर टा सी रे मार्क करछि तो दैट इज रॉन्ग ठीक अछि एक्सप्लेनेशन ठीक देछि चक्रवर्ती राजगोपालचारी ओके पॉपुलरली नोन एज राजाजी वाज he was the first Indian okay governor general of independent India so answer जोटा C देछि that would be B okay explanation ठीक अछि but answer that is wrong so your answer will be Rajgopalachari C Rajgopalachari तापरे third who among the following introduced local self government in India एटा में जेतरे पढुथिलु भी we just had a passing reference to it that is Lord Ripon okay ताको Ripon the good भी कुआ जाउतले सेति पे okay तो जो श्वेत शासन जोटा सेल्फ गवर्नेंस okay he is known as the father of self governance in India okay if you see that real benchmarking of government policy on decentralization can however be attributed to Lord Ripon okay who in his famous resolution of local self government on May 18 1882 recognized the twin considerations for local government that is administrative efficiency and political education okay so ये दीटा पर क्वेश्चन टा बुले की भी पचारि पारे okay कि कोन तारो इंपोर्टेंट ये थिला so ठीक है एक्सप्लेनेशन टा सबरे देखि दउथे okay the Ripon resolution which was focused on towns provided for local bodies consisting of large majority of elected non-official members and presided over by a non-official chairperson. Non-official artha means those who are not servants of the British. Okay. So that is question 2. Now come to question 3. So this is question 3. Next question, question 4. The Pune Pact of 1932. Okay, upheld. So Pune Pact re kon heitila jetebele कम्युनल इलेक्टोरेट को एक्सटेंड करा हला जेतले जॉइंट हिंदू इलेक्टोरेट टाकू भागिया पई चेष्टा कले ओके बाय टेकिंग आउट द डिप्रेस्ड क्लासेस फ्रॉम इट तो महात्मा गांधी गोटे फास्ट ऑन टू डेथ स्टार्ट कले येरवाड़ा जेल रे पुना रे और तापरे फाइनली द पैक्ट वाज मेड ओके तो कोन से थरे एक्सेप्ट करा हला कि गोटे जॉइंट हिंदू इलेक्टोरेट रहिबो बट विद इन दैट इलेक्टोरेट स्पेसिफिक रिजर्वेशंस विल बी गिवन to the scheduled castes okay so C is the correct answer right tar explanation oda just go through the explanation that is important okay explanation oda thara thara padhibe kana se explanation ro hi kichi alga related questions amara asi pare okay for example eti ja dechi it's an agreement between Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar and Mahatma Gandhi signed on 24 September 1932 okay और एटा बहुत ही इंपोर्टेंट इट वाज साइंड बाय पंडित मदन मोहन मालवीय एंड डॉक्टर बी आर अंबेडकर तेणु गांधी जी को तरफ रु इट वाज साइंड बाय ओके डॉक्टर मदन मोहन मालवीय तेणु ए जो डिटेल्स उडा जोडा कि सॉल्यूशन रे अछि ता ऊपर भी क्वेश्चन आसी पारे सो हु साइंड द पुना पैक्ट ओके अलोंग विथ बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर तो आपण क्वेश्चन देथिबो महात्मा गांधी थिबे ओके मदन मोहन मालवीय थिबे तो सही पार्ट टा भी ठीक देखि देबे तो डिस्क्रिप्शन रे ठीक पढि देबाटा बेटर राइट टू एनल द मैकडॉनल्ड अवार्ड कम्युनल अवार्ड जोड़ा थिला गिविंग सेपरेट इलेक्टोरेट टू दलित्स फॉर इलेक्टिंग मेंबर्स ऑफ स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबलीज इन ब्रिटिश इंडिया ओके नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन which one of the following liberty is not embodied in preamble to the Constitution of India okay liberty of thought achi eta liberty of expression achi Economic liberty eta koti bhi hamara mention कराइनी, so this will be the answer C. Okay, or liberty of belief, this is also there. So C is the answer, that is economic liberty. It is not mentioned in the preamble. सेमिति देखिया को गले से पचाउछि प्रिएम्बल रे कोनटा इकोनॉमिक लिबर्टी भी आपन को अछि, आपन पाखरे पैसा अछि, आपन केते कोन दरमा पाइबे, कोन ये करिवे, को टाइप रो जॉब करिवे, से सब जिंस आपन पाखरे अछि, बट इट इज नॉट मेंशनड in the preamble. Which of the following was the basis on which Government of India Act 1919 was made? Okay, so the Council Act of 1909, Montague's Declaration of 1917, the victory of England in World War I, or none of the above. Okay, so ताको Montfort reforms भी हमें कहूँ. Okay, Montfort reforms भी जोड़ा Montague-Chelmsford reforms. Okay, ताको कहूँ Montfort reforms. Okay, Montague करो Mont और Chelmsford करो Ford. So Montfort reforms भी देखो कहूँ. So that will be the answer. B is the answer. Government of India Act 1919 was pressed on the basis of recommendations of the Montfort reforms. Okay, Montague-Chelmsford reforms. It introduced provincial government diarchy. Okay, subjects were divided in two lists, that is reserved subjects and transferred subjects, which we had discussed. कौन reserved subjects थिला जोड़ा की okay executive council को हाँ ताको पाई थिला basically आउ जे governor थिले okay सी ताको decide करिवे, तांकर जो legislative council थिला ताको आउ से responsible ना थिले. Transferred subjects रे जोड़ा की हाँ he was responsible for the okay to the various assemblies को से responsible थे. Okay, the Indian Council was to be made of okay not less than 8 and not more than 12 members. Right. So that is the Montague-Chelmsford reform. So B will be the answer. Tabure next. It is first test, question 7. Members of the Constituent Assembly were directly elected by the people, nominated by the Governor General, elected by legislature of various provinces, nominated by Congress and the Muslim League. Okay. So actually Constituent Assembly कौन थिला? It was a partly elected and partly nominated body. So exact answer ta hi था कौन? Elected by the legislatures of various provinces and also nominated by the Indian princely states. Okay, but amaro jeti ki options देइची ता भितरे directly elected by people हबनी, लोक माने directly elect करि नथले तांको. Nominated by Governor General, that is also not correct because जो princely states of nomination तांको राजा माने करथिले, the rulers made that. Okay, तापरे elected by legislature of various provinces, this is correct. जो माने British province रो आसीथिले तो तांको state legislature माने ताको elect करिकि पठेथिले. Nominated by Congress and Muslim League, so this is also wrong. तो आ भितरु most appropriate C टा हबो. The exact answer टा कोथरे भी देनी, सेटा हबो C plus आपनकर जो माने सब nominated हेथिले by the Indian rulers. Okay, Indian princely states जाको nominate करथिले. So that would be the answer. तो हमको जति की option देछि ता भितरे C टा ही proper option. Okay, next come to question 8. The constitution has the following number of articles. Okay, so eta basically original constitution कथा से कहूची. Okay, एमती जदि ambiguous question देखिबे ताले देखिबे options कोन देछि. Okay, so 395 original constitution रे हमरो 395 articles थिला. एबे भी constitution रे last ending ता 395 सबोले सेटा रहइबो. आमे ता मझिरे आउरी insertions करूछु 460 70 पाका पाकी हमरो articles एबे हेलानी. So that would be 395. Direct question. Next, come to question 9. Setting a Supreme Court at Calcutta is a part of which act? Okay. Yes, that I'm first to jira Regulating Act of 1773. Okay, जोड़ा हमें discuss करथिलु काहे एटा हितिला जो एते तकर trade बढ़ुथिला किंतु due to the corruption and the unfair practices by these British officers से माने निजर लाभ करूथिले आउ कंपनी की पैसा ठीक रे आसु नथिला एज अ रिजल्ट कंपनी बहुत टाइम रे कोन करथिला से ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट को ओके स्टर्लिंग लोन्स मागुथिला तेणु सेटा ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट बाबुथिला कि एते प्रॉफिट करथुन हमटो लोन कई मागुछन तो आस्ते आस्ते आंकर अफेयर्स उडा माने कंट्रोल करबा स्टार्ट करले बुझ पाले सो regulating act of 1773 is the answer मु आउ सबुर सॉल्यूशन टा पढुनी बट इट इज एक्सपेक्टेड कि आपण सबु गुडा सॉल्यूशन वर्ड बाय वर्ड पढिबे ओके दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपोर्टेंट कना एग्जैक्टली ए क्वेश्चन टा न आसी पारे तो रिलेटेड सॉल्यूशन रे जा थिबो ता ऊपर भी आसी परिबो ठीक अछि नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 10 which act is associated with courts can interpret rules and regulations okay को एक्ट रे ए जिंसटा आपण को कुआइतला regulating act of 1773 पिट्स इंडिया एक्ट 1784 चार्टर एक्ट ऑफ 1793 किंबा चार्टर एक्ट ऑफ 1893 ओके एटा टिके ठू टेक्निकल पार्ट से आपण को पचारला ठीक अछि सो द आंसर इज दैट इज सी यू कैन सी देयर a regular code of all regulations that could be enacted for the internal government of British territory in Bengal was framed. The regulation was applied to the rights, persons, property of Indian people and bound the courts to regulate their decision by the code itself. Okay. Tenu, it bound the courts to regulate their decision within the code. से कोड रे जहां लिखाई छि कना देखा वाला कोन कि कोर्ट केबे केबे सुप्रीम कोर्ट एस्टैब्लिश हला परे कोड केते केते जगह रे ब्रिटिश कंपनी रो इंटरेस्ट अगेंस्ट रे काम करले ठीक अछि तेनु सेति पई कोड को भी गोटे रूल भीतर बंधा हे गला बाय दिस एक्ट चार्टर एक्ट ऑफ 1793 ओके सो दैट वुड बी द आंसर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन Which of the following are the features of the Regulating Act of 1773? Okay, it provided for establishment of Supreme Court at Calcutta. That is correct. Okay, this is ठीक. It created Executive Council for Governor General of Bengal. Right. Tapare, it made the governors of Bombay and Madras presidencies subordinate to Governor General of Bengal. सेटा ठीक अछि काहे कि आगुरु से माने इंडिपेंडेंट थिले निजो निजोर पावर्स तांकर अलगा अलगा थिला केही कहा को सबसर्वेंट नथिले बट एबे जे गवर्नर जनरल ऑफ बंगाल जे आगुरु गवर्नर ऑफ बंगाल थिले सीए ओके तांको अधिका पावर मिल गला ही हैड सुपरसाइडिंग सुपीरियर पावर्स नाउ ओवर बॉम्बे एंड मद्रास आगु पुनी देखिलु ता किछि एक्ट्स परे तांकर टोटल पावर्स ही निया हे गला लॉ मेकिंग रो लेजिस्लेटिव पावर्स तो तांको पाके नथिला का पाके Bombay or Madras governors को पाखरे it established the board of control for managing political affairs तो सेटा 1773 रे ओके हे नथिला एटा परे हेतिला सो फोर्थ इज रॉन्ग ठीक अछि सो सेतरे हमें त माने सी विल बी आवर आंसर ओनली 1 2 and 3 सो
सो फोर्थ पॉइंट केबे हेतिला
हाँ फोर्थ पॉइंट हला it established board of control okay of managing political affairs 1773 he not we'll see that seta yes okay so 1773 ro eta nathila ठीक अछि it was not a part of 1773 okay so key features of the regulating act of 1773 deichi eta features Either 1 and 2 and 3 achi. Okay, fourth ta it was later, not in 1773. Okay. Tapare question 12. What were the salient features of Government of India Act 1935? Federation and provincial autonomy, diarchy at the center, abolition of diarchy in the state. Okay, so गोटे देखंतु that is federation and provincial autonomy okay diarchy at the center जोटा आगुरु स्टेट्स रे थिला ताकु बाहर करी सेंटर रे आपण देले ओके प्रोविंशियल ऑटोनॉमी आपण सेंटर से देले abolition of diarchy in the state right so कोन द आंसर ऑल आर करेक्ट ठीक अछि तापर तारो सब गुडा देइछि तापर तारो you can go through that features of the 1935 act eta important kahi na this 1935 act is the mother source of constitution so 1935 act कहतली कोटा कोटा मेंस में important okay 1935 टा important 1909 टा 1919 टा ए तीनटा act मेंस में how maybe in some cases 1858 टा ए चारिटी act मेंस में important तारा प्रोविजन ओरा टिके मन रखिया पे पड़िबो मेंस से आसीबार ओके बाकी जो रहला इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस एक्ट एंड ऑल सेटा जा प्रीलिम्स में आपन को करते क्वेश्चन 13 which of the following is or are true Simon commission which was appointed in 1972 submitted its report in 1930 okay which suggested abolition of diarchy the Pune Pact second statement was a reaction to the Simon commission and its report ठीक है so which are true right so Simon commission which was appointed in 1927 submitted its report in 1930 okay which suggested abolition of diarchy ठीक है जेड़ा
अच्छा 29 ने देखिला कारण नवंबर 27 ने देखिला से डी ईयर बिफोर शेड्यूल माने
सेटा कोन थिला कि 1919 ठीक अछि जो एक्ट आपनकर हेथिला सेटा केमती कोन काम करूची ओके 10 इयर्स परे तार गोटे कमिटी आसी कि सेटा ताको देखि थांता किंतु सेतोले जेतु तांको रिक्वायरमेंट थिला इंडिया रो सपोर्ट रो वर्ल्ड वार घरिकारे से माने 2 वर्ष आगुरु ताको पठे देले माने 1929 रे आसिया कथा से 27 रे पठे देथिले ठीक अछि 2 इयर्स आगुरु से माने आस्थिले कथाटा हला सबमिटेड इट रिपोर्ट इन 1930 ओके सो रिपोर्ट केबे से माने सबमिट करथिले सो एटा टिके एग्जैक्टली जदि आपण जानि चंदी व्हेन इट सबमिटेड इट्स रिपोर्ट ताले जे आपण एटा आंसर करि परिबे okay so both are correct one is correct अच्छा हाँ only one is correct so Pune Pact was a reaction to the Simon commission and its report that is not correct जोड़ा हमें देखिलु that is communal award जोड़ा थिला okay तार को देखिकी सेटा हेतला so you see the explanation November 1927 itself that is 2 years before the schedule the British government announced the appointment. So appointment hela 2 years ago. Okay. And it submitted its report in 1930. Okay. It was boycotted because none of the Indians were there in the committee. Sabu foreigners thile, Europeans thile, sabu British. Which of the following is or are true regarding the Morley-Minto reforms? Okay. So Satyendra Prasad Sinha became the first Indian to join Viceroy's Executive Council. Okay. So already tanga aguru Legislative Council the Indians thile, but Executive Council which is more powerful, the Indians ko khola hinatla. Okay. So he became the first person to join that. The reforms introduced separate electorates. Okay. So both are correct. So you can see here 1919. Okay. The Morley-Minto reforms. Morley was the Secretary of State and Minto was the Viceroy. Okay, so you can go through that. There are different features. This is important as I told you for mains also. 1909 Act. Okay, so all these two things were included in that. Next, which of the following is or are true regarding Government of India Act 1919? It abolished diarchy introduced by 1909 Morley-Minto reforms. Okay. It introduced direct election in the country. Okay. Abhitaru, Sekauchi, which is correct, which is true. Okay. So let us first come to the first one. It abolished diarchy introduced by 1909 Morley-Minto reforms. Diarchy actually abolished koti hitila. Yes, 1935 Act re ताको ओके abolish करा इतला ना तागुरु
So 35 रे स्टेट रे अबोलिश करा है सेंटर रे इंट्रोड्यूस करा है
प्रोविंशियल ऑटोनॉमी दिया हितला प्रोविंसेस रे आउ सेंट्रल लेवल रे ओके आपनकर डायरकी वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड ठीक अछि तो सेटा भूल तेनु इट अबोलिश डायरकी इंट्रोड्यूस्ड बाय 1909 Minter Morley reform so that is not Government of India Act 1919 but Government of India Act 1935 okay so one is wrong it introduced direct elections in the country okay so eight of got a direct elections in the country okay that is some form of direct election seta introduced karithila okay so 1919 ठीक अछि 1919 रे if you can see okay so So for the first time, okay, some semblance of direct elections, okay, were provided in it. The majority of members of both houses were chosen by direct election. Okay, to point at the chiti. Okay, so it introduced bicameralism and direct election in the country. Introduced bicameralism and direct election in the country. So that is correct. 2 is correct. So only 2 will be correct. Now coming to question 16. Which of the following act passed under British India has led to establishment of Supreme Court of Calcutta? It a repetition H, that is Regulating Act of 1773. Kete jana judges thile setare? 1-3. Okay. That means 1 Chief Justice and 3 judges. ठीक है? So 1-3 is तो मान रख दे परिवे. Next coming to question 17. It actually तारा ये टा missing होच. Okay. एटा हला सॉल्यूशन टा बट तारा ये टा मिसिंग होची सेटा हम देइथिली ग्रुप रे ओके जस्ट रेफर टू द ग्रुप तारा फिगर टा मिसिंग है जी क्वेश्चन 17 27 गोटे थिला 34 गोटे थिला इटा आई गेस ये की
सर ए हवन सर
नहीं तो क्वेश्चन टा ही हमें देखिनो ना
लिस्ट है सर हमें ग्रुप रे देखिनो
तो क्वेश्चन 17 रो 27 और 34 रो ओके एटा बोधे एटा मु जस्ट ताको चेक कर देबे ओके एटा मिसिंग अछि फिगर ता
एटा 34 अछि नंबर एटा हम देते हाटो देथिले
हां
34 थिले कि जो होटल ऑनलाइन है ते 78
अच्छा कौन चेंज कर दीजिए क्वेश्चन नंबर
आपन जो स्टार्टिंग में जो एक नंबर हमर ऑफलाइन अछि ऑनलाइन 50 है
अच्छा आई थिंक बोधे ऑनलाइन रे क्वेश्चन नंबर चेंज है ओके तो सेटा तो सेम जिंस एटा ओके जोटा मु देइची ग्रुप रे देखन तो 34 टेबल टा ओके दैट इज द इंडियन काउंसिल एक्ट 1892 ओके जस्ट रेफर टू दैट सेटा तारी एटा देची तो से हिसाब रे जस्ट गो थ्रू दैट जे तार बोधे इमेज टा बडो थिला से पे सेटा नेलन ओके जस्ट गो थ्रू दिस तो आपण एटा पाई जिवे let us go to the next one. Which of the following institutions was or were introduced by the Government of India Act 1858? जेतेबेले company rule end hela au crown rule start hela. Okay. The Imperial Legislative Council introduce कोटा हेतिला, कोटा start हेतिला. Board of Control, Council of India. Okay. So which is correct? Introduced by Government of India Act 1858. Okay. Board of Control और Court of Directors था abolition. ठीक है. Imperial Legislative Council, okay, एबे सेटा implement है ना थिला. माने अच्छी कोटे Secretary of State position टा बना है ला. Secretary of State को help करिया पे Council of India बना है ला. 15 member का Council of India उड़े थिला. Remember that. So Council of India was introduced. Only 3. Okay. So B is the answer. तारा अपना if there is any अच्छी explanation देखी तेरे. Okay. Imperial Legislative Council was formed by Indian Council Act 1861. Board of Control was established by the Pitt's India Act of 1784, and Council of India was formed by Government of India Act 1858. What was this Council of India? Basically, it was the 15-member council to help your Secretary of State for India. तांको help करिया पे तांकरा council टाको Council of India बोली कोया वाला. Okay. Next, come to question 19. The Constitution of India was adopted by whom? Parliament, Constituent Assembly, Governor General, or British Parliament. So, simple question. Constituent Assembly of India. Next, question 20. Which of the following is a provision of Government of India Act 1858? Okay. 1858 Act, जो कहली, चारटा Act है मोर important. 58 टा, 1909 टा, 1919 टा, और 1935 टा. ये चारिटा Act भलो रे अपना देखी थी. Regulating Act भी prelims में important. Okay, but mains में ये चारटा. So company rule was replaced by the crown rule. This is correct. Okay, এটা ठीक है जी. Establishment of Board of Control over the Court of Directors. Okay, so whether this is correct or not. Board of Control, जेमती मु कहली आउ Court of Directors दीटा abolish हे गला ए act रे. Government of India Act abolished both the Board of Control and Court of Directors. ए माने थिले केते बेले company rule बेले. ठीक अछि. Initially Court of Directors थिले, तापरे Board of Control टा परे टिके फॉर्म हेतिला. ठीक अछि. So 1 is correct. Okay, 2 is not correct. तेनु मते पूरा पांचटा एबे देखिबा दरकार नै. मु देखिबी 2 टा कोठी अछि. को ऑप्शन रे अछि. जो ऑप्शन रे अछि सेटा हबन. 2 खाली गोटे रे अछि तो लाभ किछ होला. मतलब यदि कॉमन देखिबार अछि ता भितरु बाकी कोथरे. Okay, 4 4. Okay, so that I can see. यदि 4 टा मोर ट्रू की फॉल्स जणा पड़ी गला ताले मु 3 टा एलिमिनेट करि परिबी. तो सेपरेटिंग द एग्जीक्यूटिव एंड लेजिस्लेटिव फंक्शन ऑफ गवर्नर जनरल. ओके, सेटा 1885 एक्ट रे हिना दिला. ठीक अछि. तो सेटा सब परे काउंसिल एक्ट करि करे हैला. राइट. So 4 is wrong. तनु 4 नाही गोतरे, that is D. Okay, so that will be the answer. Clear?
1858 रे सर बोधे एटा ट्रू फॉर कारण से जे वाइस रॉय कर देला ना एग्जीक्यूटिव और लेजिस्लेटिव
नहीं वाइस रॉय करो तांकर एग्जीक्यूटिव और लेजिस्लेटिव फंक्शन केते बेले सेपरेट कर हैला. तांकर जेतले गोटे सेपरेट लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल करा गला. तो एग्जीक्यूटिव काउंसिल टा प्रथम रु थिला टू टेक द एग्जीक्यूटिव डिसीजन. आगुरु से माने ही लॉ बनौतले. बट परे तांकर लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल गोटे वाइस रॉय करो अलगा करा हैला. सो हिज लेजिस्लेटिव फंक्शंस वर सेपरेटेड. But that was not in Government of India Act 1858. Okay, किंतु creation of a new office of Secretary of State, that is correct. Okay, तो हमें उल्टा रे भी देखि परिबा कि एटा तो श्योर. तनु 5 टा जो थ निहाती भाबरे आंसर रे रहइबो. तनु C आउ D ही आंसर ही परिबे. Okay, तापरे 2 आउ 3 रु हमें जानछु. 3 रु at least हमें जानि परछु. Indians were allowed to take part in civil service. 1858 act तो नो. So C टा हबनी. D will be the answer. Okay. तो एठी जंती मल्टीपल स्टेटमेंट्स 2 रु अधिक स्टेटमेंट देथिबो ताले बेटर एलिमिनेशन पे आपण जाय परिबो. ओके, बट एबे यूपीएससी रे एमती भी क्वेश्चन एथर को जो क्वेश्चन पड़ची एलिमिनेशन भी ठीक रे आपनकर काम करबन. माने आपण एग्जैक्टली से कांसेप्ट आपण को जानिबार अछि. ओके, सो यू कैन गो थ्रू द एक्सप्लेनेशन. तापरे question 21, which of the following is or are true regarding the Minto-Morley reforms? So Satyendra Prasad Sinha became the first Indian to join the Viceroy's Executive Council. Okay, Minto-Morley reforms upare hi pachar cheta. The reforms introduced separate electorate. I think a question repeat is already research, right? That is okay. So the reforms introduced separate electorates, and Satyendra Prasad Sinha became the first Indian to join the Viceroy. Repeat is, so you can skip this question. Which of the following act passed during British India empowered the Viceroy to issue ordinances in times of emergency? So by bypassing the Legislative Council, okay, see तांकर निजर ordinance issue करी परिबे. So which of the acts? The Indian Council Act of 1861. Okay, so that gave the power to the Viceroy. Tar validity, okay, 6 months. Okay, next 23. For how many values are explicitly mentioned in preamble of the Constitution? Keteda values, okay, explicitly mentioned heichi. So ethare gote jinsa hala, the nature of the state amaro jota batauchi, okay, that is sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Kichita books re seita ko values hisabe se nounanti. Okay, semane nouchunti kota na liberty, equality, fraternity and justice. से हिसाब रे 4 होची. तो केतेटा बॉक्स रे 4 आंसर देची. ठीक अछि, किंतु जदी हमें सेटा भी मिसे दबा ताले 9 ही जाउची. Okay, so now the question is whether these the nature of the state will be taken as values. So of course sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, these are democracy, secularism, these are important values also. Okay, then what a broad outlook jodi hame dekhiba tale 9 will be the answer. But in some books, okay, that 4 bhi deiti. So it apan mind re rakhantu ki whether this the first 5, okay, sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, takko ame value hisab re nei pariba ki nahi. So okay, broader perspective re seta value hisab re jibo, because secularism is a very important value. Okay, same the democracy is a very important value, right? See, generally explicitly mentioned both जोटा क्लियरली लेखा हेची प्रियम्बल. ठीक अछि, आउ सेमती बहुत पुरे वैल्यूज हमें कहि परिबा जोटा कि एनश्राइन्ड अछि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन रे, इम्प्लिसिटली सेटा रहि परिबो. बट एठी से कहचे एक्सप्लिसिटली जोटा पूरा सही हिसाब रे लेखा हेची, क्लियरली रिटन. ओके, सो दैट इज द थिंग. सेट पे से आंसर ता तारो सही हिसाब रे 9 देची. But in some books I have seen it has given the answer as 4 also. Okay, but say jo dilemma ta, okay, confusion ta seta mind re rakhantu. Broader perspective it will be 9. Next, come to question 24. Who was chosen as interim president of Constituent Assembly in its first, okay, meeting held on December 9, 1946? Right? So already we have seen that. एटा गोटे एटा को कंट्री रो ए प्रेसिडेंट्स ता नै हेतला हम जोडा देखतिलु फ्रांस रो. ओके, जो प्रोटेम स्पीकर रो, ठीक अछि. सो दैट इज सचिंद्रनाथ सिन्हा. ओके, जो सबुठु जे मोस्ट एक्सपीरियंस लोक थिबे, ओल्डर लोक थिबे, एक्सपीरियंस हिसाब रे तांको से पोस्ट दे हवे. ओके, ताको प्रोटेम स्पीकर भी आपको हमें देखिबा तांको होंती. सो ही वाज इनिशियली गिवन दैट. ओके, later Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as president of the assembly and vice presidents were H.C. Mukherjee and V.T. Krishnamachari. Okay, next, consider the following provisions of Constitution of India, that is citizenship, electoral process in India, fundamental duties, fundamental rights and formation of states and union territories. Which of the provisions came into existence on 26 November 1949? So 26 November limited apanଙ୍କର, okay, parts of the constitution came into effect. तो सेटा देइथिला से लिस्ट रे. तो ए क्वेश्चन ता बहुत ही टू द पॉइंट अछि. से लिस्ट ता आपनको जानिबार अछि. ओके, citizenship and electoral process in India. ठीक अछि, that is the C is the answer, 1 and 2 only. ना सेठी हमर को ए जो को प्रोविजंस उडा आसिला हां एगुडा आर्टिकल्स ना प्रोविजंस माने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन संगे रिलेटेड जेतरा हम करूछु these are articles only okay ताको हमें sections कोनु ताको articles कहूछु right तो कौन आछि you can see here citizenship elections okay provisional parliament temporary and transitionary provisions were given immediate effect from 26th November 1949 तो आ भितरु से दीटा okay plus आपण को लक्ष्मीकांत भी exhaustive list ता देछि तर next question 26 Constitution of India was passed and adopted on so date of adoption amara 26th November 1949 okay who was appointed as the constitutional advisor to the Constituent Assembly okay that is D.N. Rao okay D is the answer so he was the legal advisor to the Constituent Assembly Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of Constituent Assembly while K. Munshi and N. Madhava Rao were the members of the drafting committee. The objective resolution was unanimously adopted by Constituent Assembly on 22nd January 1947. Consider the following provisions of the resolution. जोटा कि हमें कहूछु predecessor of the preamble. Adequate safeguards shall be provided for minorities, backward and tribal areas, and depressed and other backward classes. Second, all powers and authorities of sovereign independent India, its constituent parts with organs of government are derived from the heads of the state. Okay, so obviously all powers of authority of sovereign independent India that is derived not from the heads of the state but from the court. Okay, the people. Okay, so 2 is wrong. Okay, but 1 is correct. Okay, so A will be the answer. Tara explanation to dekhantu. कौन objective resolution रे दिया हिची just go through it once. Okay. It is wherein all powers and authorities of sovereign independent India is constituent and its constituent parts and organs of government are derived from the people, okay, not from the head of the state. Next, question 29. It's an AR type question, assertion reasoning. Constituent assemblies was not a representative body as its members were not elected based on universal adult franchise. It is an assertion. Okay, it was not a representative body. So, जो members man okay, they were elected by already elected, okay, members of the provincial assemblies. How किसी जनो nominate हेतले. Okay, so it is an assertion. Reason कौन? Constituent Assembly was created against the proposal of British government. Okay, so what will be the correct answer? Both A and R are correct, and okay, R is the correct explanation of A. Both A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. A is true, but R is false. A is false, but R is true. First, that ठीक होची. Okay, not a representative body in the sense that किए elect करथिले Constituent Assembly रो members को from the British provinces. It were the legislative, okay, जो ने MLAs type रो जो माने legislative assemblies रे elected लोग थिले. तांको किए elect करथिले limited franchise रे लोक माने elected करथिले, but not universal franchise रे हे नथिला. Second जोटा कहला Constituent was created against the proposal of the British government, which is just cabinet mission. Okay, how अलगा तांकर जो सब various सब committees घरिका आसीथिले. Okay, it was based on the recommendation of those committees. So British government रा okay acceptance पर ही इटा form हेथिला. So the reasoning is wrong. Okay, so A is correct, but R is wrong. Tapare question 30. Who put forward the idea of Constituent Assembly for India for the first time? First page रे अपन देखिए first chapter ro, that is M1 Roy janko ame padhithilu tanko bisare. He was a radical humanist. Okay, so he was basically a communist. Okay, communism ro bahut prakar ro achanti tangara, so he was a radical humanist. Okay, so M.N. Roy would be the answer. Then question 31. Consider the following statement regarding features of Constituent Assembly. Indian Independence Act of 1947 maintained that Constituent Assembly was a fully sovereign body. Constituent Assembly composed representatives of princely states. Such were nominated by the people of the princely states. Okay, not by the people, by the kings, by the rulers. So 2 is wrong. Okay, so Siddheji, which of these are not correct? So obviously, okay. Then true. True nuha joda false. Okay. Seats allocated to each British province were divided among all communities in proportion to their population. So these are the 3 statements it has given. Option 9 seta. Okay. So let us go to the explanation. Okay. 1 and 2 is correct according to it. Right. So kona pai se 1 and 2 correct korchi?
अरे 3 टा ठीक होचे ना से कोनटा एठी पछचे कोटा नॉट करेक्ट 3 टा एठी ठीक होचे तो सेटा आंसर होबनी 1 डे कंपचे.
Okay, so see that. Let us go for the explanation then. Election of the members of Constituent Assembly have been fully elected first for undivided India. Okay, in its first sitting were held on this. Okay, and reassembled as Constituent Assembly for divided India after our partition. Okay, its members are elected by indirect election by members of the provincial legislative assemblies that have been established in 1935. The Constituent Assembly was composed roughly along the lines suggested by plan proposed by the Committee of British Cabinet known as the Cabinet Mission. As per the Cabinet Mission plan, each province and each princely state or group of states were to be allocated seats proportional to respective population, roughly in the ratio of 1:10 lakh or 1 in 1 million. Okay. As a result, the provinces that were under direct British rule, okay, were to elect 292 members, while princely states were to be allotted a maximum of 93 seats. It had a divided India. The seats of each province were distributed among the 3 main communities, Muslim, Sikhs, and General, in proportion to their respective population. Members of each community in the provincial legislative assembly elected their own representative by method of proportional representation with single transferable vote. The method of selection in case of representative of princely state was to be determined by consultation. As a consequence of the partition under the plan of 3rd June 1947, those members who were elected from territories which fall under Pakistan ceased to be members of the Constituent Assembly of India. The number of assembly was reduced to 299, of which 284 were actually present on 26 November 1949 and appended their signatures to the Constitution as, okay, finally passed. Right. So, say you see, again see the statements. Maintain that Constituent Assembly was a fully sovereign body. Okay, that is correct. Constituent Assembly composed representatives of princely states which were nominated by people of the princely states. This is wrong. Okay, they were not nominated by people of the princely states. Okay, they were nominated basically by the kings themselves. Kintu eti gote point dekhantu se kain kochi 2 is correct after ye jo division hela. Okay, consultative process re se jinsa ta habo khali king ja chahibe seya hijibo seta no. Okay, so a point ro koichi through a consultative process seti pai se taku correct kochi. Okay. से बात देखिए कि फीचर्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली ओके फर्स्ट से कोची इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस एक्ट ऑफ 1947 हां से फर्स्ट पॉइंट रे इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस एक्ट कहला सेकंड पॉइंट रे किछि कहनी ठीक अछि सो एक्चुअली कोन कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली रो जो प्रिंसली स्टेट्स जो मन आसुतले से माने तांकर किंग्स माने डिसाइड करके तांको पठौतले ठीक अछि बट कंसल्टेटिव मैकेनिज्म भी गोटे ओके इट इज ए पॉइंटर देछि दे वर टू बी sent determined by consultation okay the method of selection in case of representatives of princely states was to be determined by consultation ठीक है but anyway a consultation ta not among the people तो any सेटा को टू टा ठीक देछि but I don't think two is correct were nominated by the people of the princely state they were not nominated by the people of the princely states mainly say consultation okay not with the people okay with some of the bodies of say type ro thela ठीक है जी so two won't be the answer माने two will be wrong so कहूची which of this is wrong which of this is not correct so two तो हबो seats allocated to each British province were divided among all communities in proportion to their population okay which is wrong not all communities okay but जो communities उड़ा okay that is the three communities okay according to their population that is correct okay all communities रे there are other communities also ठीक अछि किंतु तीनिटा ही ग्रुप्स आपनकर हेतिला राइट सो who will be that will be which of this is wrong two will be wrong okay and three will be wrong किंतु से टू टा को से करेक्ट बोली कहउची से से थ्री ओनली देछि से जो कंसल्ट काई कि से सेटा आंसर देछि सेटा भी बुझंतु काना से जो कंसल्टेटिव मैकेनिज्म से कहउची सेथर से इंक्लूड करूची कि लोक माने भी ओके इंक्लूडेड सेथरे थिले बट आई डोंट थिंक that is the correct thing so it will be 2 and 3 according to me okay 2 and 3 both are wrong so answer will be 2 and 3 kana question hala which of this is not correct option रे नहीं 2 and 3 से खाली 3 टा देछि okay 2 टा से कहउची is correct Constitution as adopted on November 26, 1949. So, taro so direct question. Preamble, 395 articles and 8 schedules. 8 amara. Okay, that is the thing. So that is correct. A will be correct answer. Direct question. Next question 33. The Constituent Assembly was constituted under the scheme formulated by Cabinet Mission Plan. Regarding the plan, consider the following statement. Manera Cabinet Mission Plan regarding statements of those. Allocation of seats for each province and princely state to be in proportion to their respective population. जोटा कि हम देखिलु 1 in a million to 1 in 10 lakhs आपनकर थिला 10 लाख लोग रे गोटे सीट मिलिबो representatives to be elected through proportional representation using single transferable vote whether it is correct or not okay tapare next the representatives of princely states were to be nominated by heads of the princely states this is correct nominated by the heads of the princely states out of 296 seats allocated to British India 291 members were to be drawn from governors provinces and 5 from the chief commissioners provinces एटा पूरा माने डाटा ऊपर देला से गोटे कमीची गोटे बढ़ैची 292 members और 4 members थिबो ओके ना कोन अछि एटा देखिए whether it is correct or not chief commissioner province हमें देखथिलु चारिटा थिला each province रो गोटे 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 जिबे ठीक है तो 4 members were there if you remember हमें जोटा डिस्कस करथिलु so that would be wrong so which of the statements are correct se pacharuchi okay so eta fourth ta भूल अछि obviously eta 292 and 4 होबो ठीक अछि एटा पूरा बहुत ही डाटा फैक्चुअल सेटा पचारछि right so we can see here 296 were to be allocated to British India so 295 देथिला okay and out of the 296 seats 292 were to be drawn from the governors provinces and 4 from chief commissioner provinces okay baki jo dita point dechi that is given here that is correct single transferable vote which we were discussing okay be jo rajya sabha election hela right apna sunte bahut gude comments asila ये तो जीती गले ओनली बिकॉज सेकंड प्रेफरेंस वोट पे ओके फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस वोट एते ताको मिल नथला सो सेठी सिंगल ट्रांसफरेबल वोट रो कांसेप्ट आपण बुझुचंती ओके सो Last but one point dekhantu, the representatives of each community were to be elected by members of that community in the provincial legislative assembly, and voting was to be in the method of proportional representation using a single transferable vote. Tabare, consider the following statements. Constituent Assembly adopted the, again eta pura data based achi, okay, pura factual data jane pade. Constituent Assembly adopted the national flag on July 22, 1947. Constituent Assembly adopted the national anthem January 24, 1950. Constituent Assembly elected Dr. Rajendra Prasad as the first President of India on 26 January 1950. Okay, so question is which of the above are correct? So 26 January 1950 no Didi Naguru tango elect karaita. Say 24. Okay, so we can, as you can see, that is wrong. Okay, Sita Bhulochi. So that is on 24th January 1950. It elected Dr. Rajendra Prasad as the first President of India on January 24th, 1950. Okay. Also, national flag room who flag was presented to the Constituent Assembly by the women of India. Okay, by the women of India. Originally, it was Sarojini Naidu dabara thila, but kichu a problem hela tang deho kharab hela कहला सी दे परलेनी आउ जने normal worker जने कांग्रेस रो सी सेटा okay देले. So the Constituent Assembly was presented the national flag by the women of India. सेटा हला जो technical word जोटा mention है चमरो women of India. Okay. Next question 35. Which of the following factors under Government of India Act 1935 were responsible for granting limited franchise? Tax, property, and education. तीनिटा जाको से okay मिसे किए कोटले so all three are correct. जहाँ कर एतिकी टैक्स दो थिबे कि एतिकी प्रॉपर्टी थिबो कि एतिकी एजुकेटेड थिबे से माने ही वोट दे पारे. That is universal franchise ro opposite limited franchise. Okay. Question 36. Which of the following committee was not a major committee under the Constituent Assembly? Again, you need to know the facts for this. Committee on Function of Constituent Assembly, Ad hoc Committee on Citizenship, Committee for Negotiating with States, Committee for Northeast Frontier Tribal Areas. Okay. Avitru Koda major committee nathila. Right. So ad hoc committee generally, okay, seta plus functions of the Constituent Assembly. That is 1 and 2. You can see here. It abhi seta you need to minimize it because it both bad hoye jeta. ठीक है. Click करो seta as jiva. Then you can go through it. Okay. So these are the major and the minor committees. Next, consider the following statements. Prem Bihari Narayan Raizada was the calligrapher.
Sir, sir, your previous question that ad hoc minor committee re rohithila.
Minor committee. Se pochorchi was not a major committee. Mane anko bitru minor committees kota thila. Was not a major committee under okay the Constituent Assembly.
Okay, sir, understood.
Was not a major committee means which was this was a minor committee. Sisaya coach. Question 37. Prem Bihari Narayan Raizada was the calligrapher of the Indian Constitution. Our Constitution ta originally handwritten thila. Okay, hathar rekha thila. Pore taku ame typeset kariye taku printed form re ame anlu. The calligraphy of the Hindi version of the original Constitution was done by okay Beohar Ram Manohar Sinha. Then Nandalal Bose illuminated, beautifully ornamented the original preamble. Which of the above are not correct? Okay. So देखो the solution because these are completely factual. So ASO OCS prelims में this is important. Okay, तो UPSC में इतना important नहीं पड़े. Ram Narayan Bihari Raizada was the calligrapher of Indian Constitution. जोड़ा की first statement थिला which is correct. तापरे Bihar Ram Manohar Sinha illuminated, beautified and ornamented the original preamble calligraphed by Prem Bihari Narayan Raizada. So seta se deichi tanko na jagare. Okay, the calligraphy of Hindi version of the original constitution was done by Ram Manohar Sinha se likhichi, but she actually beautify karthile. So 2 is wrong. Okay, exchange kar deiti. Or 3, Nandlal Bose illuminated, that is calligraphy of the Hindi version, that was done by Vasant Krishna Vaidya and elegantly decorated and illuminated by Nandlal Bose to the Hindi version ta thila. So 2 and 3 are wrong. Only 2 and 3 are wrong. 1 is correct. So say which is not correct or which is wrong, which of the statements are wrong. Okay. Tapare question 38. Consider the following pairs of chairman and the committees under the Constituent Assembly under chairman. States Committee, the Committee for Negotiating with the States, Jawaharlal Nehru. Provincial Constitution Committee, Sardar Patel. Drafting Committee, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Special Committee to examine the draft constitution, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Which of these are correctly matched? So, so again, you see here, our list are same list. You can go through that. Sabuda manbakir nahi, just go through it once. Tale MCQ level ra asile apan taku easily dekhi de paribe. Coming to question 39. Consider the following statements. January 26 was specifically chosen as the date of commencement of Constitution because on this day, in 1930, the Purna Swaraj Day was celebrated. With the commencement of Constitution, the Indian Independence Act of 1947 and abolition of Privy Council Jurisdiction Act 1949 was repealed. So which of these are not correct? Right. So mane pakanta hame discuss karthilu ki Indian Independence Act pare bhi, right, commencement of the Constitution, abolition of Privy Council Jurisdiction Act seta continue karaitela. It was continued. So 2 is wrong. So 1 is correct and 2 is wrong. Which of these are not correct? So 2 is not correct. B will be the answer. 2 is not correct. The explanation dekhandu. So 26 January we know, 15th August was not any historically significant day. 15 August 1947 amara Independence Day ta decide karthilu. 26 January ta important thila because celebration of this Purna Swaraj resolution ta sedino pass hina thila. Tara celebration ki jo observance ta 26 January re prathame hitila. So just to have the difference of that Purna Swaraj resolution was not passed on that day. Because in this day in 1930 the Purna Swaraj resolution was celebrated. Underline that, not passed. Purna Swaraj resolution ta aguru pass hitila. Kintu it was observed and celebrated on 26 January. Following the resolution of the Lahore session, in December 1929 of the Indian National Congress, right? With the commencement of the Constitution, the Indian Independence Act and the Government of India Act 1935, with all enactments amending or supplementing the latter act, were repealed. Hela, to segura repeal eitila. Konta hina tila, eta underline koranto, mind rakhandu. Ki nuwa Constitution asla pore bhi, the abolition of Privy Council Jurisdiction Act was, however, continued. Seta se deitila ki seta repeal eitila. So that is wrong. Next, come to question 40. Who was elected as the Speaker of Constituent Assembly when it met as Dominion Legislature? On November 17, 1947. Who was elected as the Speaker? Tamane first Speaker of Lok Sabha, sahi hisabe se kochi. That is G.V. Mavlankar. So B is the kind of Constituent Assembly ta amara janichu tara Constituent and Legislative both functions thila. Mane kono na si amo Constituent Assembly hisabe re amo Constitution bhi banai thanta plus general laws. Seta bhi banai thanta. So se continue kala as the Parliament also, right? So G.V. Mavlankar, he was the first speaker. Jodi ame koi pariya Lok Sabha ebe jemti hochi to first speaker of Lok Sabha sei hisabe apna hochen. Tabare 41. The August offer of 1940 accepted which of these important demands of the Indian National Congress leadership? Rejection of idea of partition of India. Okay. Accepted. Quota accept kala. Rejection of idea of partition of India. So partition of India, you know that it was accepted only in the Mountbatten plan. Baki ko bhi British plan re partition ta accept hini. Establishing a system of provincial elections and giving them greater autonomy. Constituent Assembly of India elected based on adult franchise. Withdrawal of involvement of Indian troops in the Second World War. Okay. Which of these important demands were accepted? Okay, under the August offer, right? So, you see the Constituent Assembly of India elected based on adult franchise. Okay, so if you see, in 1938, Jawaharlal Nehru on behalf of INC declared that Constitution of Free India must be framed without outside interference by a Constituent Assembly elected based on adult franchise. This demand was accepted by the British government under its August offer of 1940. Okay. Next, question 42. The Constituent Assembly was constituted in November 1946 under the scheme formulated by the Cabinet Mission Plan. Which was or were the salient features of the Assembly? Okay, the Assembly had representation from both Indian, British India and Princely states. This is correct. Okay. One is correct. The system of proportional representation was adopted. There was no communal representation in the Assembly. The Assembly included important ministers of British cabinet as ex officio members. Okay. So, which of these are correct? So, 1 is correct, obviously, and 2 is correct. 3 भूल अछि, 4 भी भूल अछि. British cabinet माने से तांकर माने English government रो British government रो ministers ex officio members वरे. Okay, they were not there. So only 1 and 2, right? So you can see here the cabinet mission provision for the following schemes to be set up. Okay, the Constituent Assembly of India, total strength and all, so that is given. Okay, each province and princely states were to be allocated seats in proportion of their respective population, 1 in million or 10 lakhs. 10 lakh population mein gote seat. Seat allocated to each British province were to be divided among Muslim, Sikhs and general in proportion to their population. The representation of each community were to be elected by the members of that community in provincial assembly, and voting was to be a method of proportional representation using single transferable vote. So, single transferable vote, it is very, very difficult. Because you 1, 2, 3, 4 numbering kare padiyo. So, settable loko mane sei hisabre voting. Okay. The representatives of the princely states were to be nominated by heads of the princely states. So, tankara ministers mane ex officio member rahibe. Semti konosi okay provision nathila iti. Next, question 43. The objective resolution was passed in the Lahore session of Indian National Congress, Constituent Assembly, all party conference after the cabinet mission plan, or a meeting which declared the Mountbatten plan. So obviously it was the Constituent Assembly. Constituent Assembly rehi objective resolution da pass itla. Okay, which was proposed by Pandit Nehru. Which of the following statements is or are correct regarding the Indian Constitution? The original Constitution of India was handwritten by Prem Bihari Narayan Raizada. Okay, it was written in flowing italic style. The calligraphy of Hindi version of the original Constitution was done by Vashant, okay, Kishan Vaidya, right? So which of these are correct? Okay, so all of these can I would have just I would a question dekhi all of these are correct. 1, 2 and 3. It ASO OS it related ticket it mone rakhte 4-5 okay. The animal that was carved on the seal of the Constituent Assembly was elephant. Okay, so C is the answer here. Next, which Constitutional Amendment Act provision for the authoritative text of Constitution in the Hindi language? Okay, that is the 58th. Kahi na semti code is given nathila ki taku translate kara haba Hindi ku au jodi kichi confusion achi tale kon kara habo, right? So which we had discussed that is the 58th Constitutional Amendment Act. Tapare 47, arrange the following countries based on the first time taken by the framers of the constitution, okay, of those countries. Okay, तांका constitution बनेया ପାଇଁ किए को हिसाब रे केते समय नै चली, राइट? ताको अरेंज करिया ପାଇଁ कोची अमेरिका, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, कनाडा, साउथ अफ्रीका. एते गोटे इंस हला फर्स्ट तो आसीबा अमेरिका काइना तांकर फेडरल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन रे बहुत कम आर्टिकल्स जेतु तांकर स्टेट रो निज निजर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अछि. सो वन फर्स्ट सबुथर वन ही अछि फर्स्ट रे. ओके, इट्स वेरी माने आपन को से टेबल टा भल रे पढिया ପାଇଁ पडियो जो लेखि जी ये एति रे सरला ये एति रे सरला. ओके, then only you can answer this. So tapare se kochi South Africa. Okay, B is the answer, right? Tapare it is Canada, and at last it is Australia. Exact kete days nahi thile, kete years nahi thile, you can see here. America matra 7टी articles tankar thila federal constitution re, tenu 4 मास रे semane sar dele. Tapare asla Canada 147, okay, articles thila daro 2 years, okay, and 6 months. Australia 128 articles 9 years, and South Africa 153 article 1 year. South Africa ete कम time काई कि नेला ना तारा because of the already Mandela का agitation जोगु तारा constitution more or less तारा provision समस्ते agree करिकी थिले सेटा. ओके, सेट पे सेटा जल्दी quite limited time रे सेटा तांगर हे गला. Next, consider the following statements regarding Constitution of India adopted on November 26, 1949. Okay, so the preamble was not part of the original draft of the Indian Constitution and was inserted by the first Constitutional Amendment Act. It had 395 articles, 22 parts, and 8 schedules. Okay, which of the above statement is correct? Okay, the preamble was not part of the original draft of the Constitution, which is wrong. Preamble first Constitution रो part थिला, एती कथा सेटा drafted at the end. Constitution बाकी पूरा draft हे गला परे ताकू last draft करा हे थिला, किंतु प्रथम draft माने final draft बेले भी सेटा part of the Indian Constitution थिला. So 1 is wrong. Okay, 2 is correct. 395 articles हमारा थिला, 22 parts of 8 schedules थिला. So only 2 is correct. B is the answer. Next, going to question 49. Which of the following committees of Constituent Assembly was not headed by Jawaharlal Nehru? So he headed many committees. आ भितरे को committee सेटा से head करि नाहंती. Okay, so the steering committee, okay, which was, you can see here again, same, right? Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Okay, J. Agujay first president hele, so it was headed by him. Okay, Pandit Nehru, Union Power Committee, Union Constitution Committee. Okay, that was, and also the States Committee for negotiation with states. Ita bojon hawante ita Sardar Patel thile. Sardar Patel was Provincial Constitution Committee ra. Okay, he headed that committee. But the Committee for Negotiation with the States Committee jota, that was also headed by Jawaharlal Nehru. Last question of the first test. Consider the following statements regarding committees of the Constituent Assembly. Only the members of the Assembly could become the chairman of these committees. Mahatma Gandhi was the chairman of the Advisory Committee on Fundamental Rights, Minorities, and Tribal and Excluded Areas. Which of the above statements are not correct? So, गोटे जिनस में जानचु कि Constituent Assembly रे, okay, गोटे हमें पढ़िथिलु गोटे particular sentence की सबु मेजर लीडर्स हमारा Constituent Assembly रे थिले से टाइम रो जेते पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स लॉयर्स बड़ बड़ ये सब थिले एक्सेप्ट महात्मा गांधी फर्स्ट भी मना कर देथिले कि ए पॉलिटिकल प्रोसेस रे मु जदरे पॉसिबल ओके ताको इन्फ्लुएंस थिला बट ही वाज नॉट अ मेंबर ऑफ इट सो 2 इज रॉन्ग ओके 2 इज रॉन्ग हां सरदार पटेल Mahatma Gandhi you know he was not involved in any kind of political activity okay after the partition was declared. Otherwise, tankara ichha thile he could have become the president, prime minister, jaha bhi tankara okay ichha thanda, but he was not interested in that. Okay, so which of this is not correct? B is not correct, right? So this is the first test. Now we'll take a break for 5 minutes and we'll go for the second test. Second test mainly preamble saburo achi, but mainly preamble questions achi. Okay, so you can just take a break for 5 minutes. We'll resume after 5 minutes. ओके तो क्वेश्चन है कि प्रिवी काउंसिल कौन ठीक है तो आगुरी जो कोर्ट गुड़ा हमर थिले ब्रिटिश इंडिया रे तो तांकर जो अपील्स गुड़ा ओके से गुड़ा ए प्रिवी काउंसिल को जाउतला प्रिवी काउंसिल मींस इट्स अ प्राइवेट बॉडी ऑफ जूरिस्ट्स ठीक है प्राइवेट बॉडी ऑफ जूरिस्ट्स जो माने कि इंग्लैंड रे थिले इट वाज बेस्ड इन इंग्लैंड ठीक है तेणु ये माने कोन करथिले तांकर जो सब अपीलेट जो सब लोअर कोर्ट्स रु हाई कोर्ट कर करू जीवो ते माने तांको पठौथिले ओके इट वेंट टू दैट प्रिवी काउंसिल so that was it is basically what a jurist apanakar it's a private and a closed okay body of jurists je ki final authority final decision semane ne that is the privy council ebe nai ke beto abolition hai kana amaro to judicial system asigola pare amaro to judges semane public authorities son na to amaro private amaro se concept au rahilani okay we'll continue then with right. So now come to question 1 of second test. Who of the following has stated that the constitution has not been set in a right mold of federalism? So it is जो अपन सब comments of the different jurists अपन पढ़ुचंती सेथरे अपन एटा पाइबे okay so AK Iyer ठीक है it was basically AK Iyer. Next the objective resolution is more than a resolution, it is a declaration, a firm resolve, a pledge, and undertaking. Okay, who has said this? So this is again Jawaharlal Nehru. तो एगुड़ा पर अपन यदि पढ़ुचंती तले सेटा यदि मार्क करचंती ताले अपन आंसर कर पारे. It is interesting question. Which of the following countries does not have constitutional provision requiring the federal government to transfer its resources to the state. Okay, तार जो हाँ यूएस रे एक कॉन्सेप्ट है नहीं ताकर कौन कि तांको स्टेट गुड़ा सेमान तांको निजो रिसोर्सेस तांको स्टेट रो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अलगा ओके तेणु सेमाने तांको निजो रिसोर्सेस निजरो फाइनेंस सेमाने तांको मैनेज करंती जेतेबेले दरकार बढ़ाई परिबे कमाई परिबे तांको टैक्सेशन ओके जनरली द फेडरल गवर्नमेंट ओके डज नॉट ट्रांसफर इट्स रिसोर्सेस टू द स्टेट ओके कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोविजन नहीं किंतु ऑफ कोर्स जेतेबेले धरंतु गोटे जेंति आपनकर हरिकेन सुड़ा सुजी ओके सेठी तांकर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट तम हेल्प करे फेडरल गवर्नमेंट हेल्प करिवो बट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनली मैंडेटेड नुह तांकर does not have the constitutional provision requiring the federal government to transfer its resources to the state तेनु तांकर फेडरल एजेंसीज अलगा स्टेट एजेंसीज अलगा तांकर माने जंतु एफबीआई अछि फेडरल लेवल रे तांकर स्टेट रो सेंती तांकर अलगा अरेंजमेंट अछि ओके तांकर जुडिशियरी सिस्टम भी हमर जंतु इंटीग्रेटेड जुडिशियरी तांकर सेंती सेपरेटेड जुडिशियरी ओके तांकर स्टेट रो सर्किट कोर्ट्स अछि स्टेट रो हाई कोर्ट्स अछि स्टेट रो सुप्रीम कोर्ट्स अछि ठीक अछि और फेडरल सुप्रीम कोर्ट भी तांकर अछि ठीक अछि सो consider the following statements and choose the correct code. The objective resolution sought to secure such as rights such as justice, equality, freedom and freedom of thought and free propagation of one's religion. The objectives resolution provided safeguards for minorities, backward and tribal rights and rights of depressed and other classes. Okay. So, which is correct? Objective resolution provided safeguards for minorities, backward, tribal rights. Era thik ache. Objective resolution sought to secure rights such as justice, equality, freedom of thought, free propagation of one's religion. Okay, so that is not explicitly mentioned. Okay, so
rights such as justice, equality, freedom of thought and free propagation.
nahin seta ha whereas it is minorities right or tribal rights ta or depressed classes mein seta categorically kuhai chhe seta okay next question 5 the use of word socialist in the preamble through the 42nd amendment implies as per decision of Supreme Court aji jota case ta mein dekhi dilu Excelsior versus Union of India 1979 the Supreme Court case okay elimination of ignorance social ownership of all means of production absence in inequality of opportunity okay so which of this would be correct right social ownership of all means of production seta mona kara hitala right ha government sabu rakhi paribane jo mane tanko rights ku bi apanu ko respect kariya pe padibo so 2 is wrong so 1 and 3 are correct okay जोटा आज हमें देखिल से पे ए जो केसेस उडा किछिडा पांच छोटा बेसी नहीं सेटा टिके हम देखिया पे पड़ियो राइट तापर आसिला one of the following was not part of objective resolution of December 13 1946 which one okay of this so you can see that India is to be sovereign socialist secular democratic republic eta objective resolution न नथिला काहे कि ना ए जो secular और socialist हमें बहुत परे ऐड करलु okay 1976 रे 42nd amendment रे देखो ऐड करलु ओरिजिनल वर्ड्स कोन थिला एटा मन रखन तो ऑब्जेक्टिव रेजोल्यूशन रे इंडिपेंडेंट सोवरेन रिपब्लिक ओके इंडिपेंडेंट सोवरेन रिपब्लिक एई तीनटा वर्ड्स ओके हमर ऑब्जेक्टिव रेजोल्यूशन रे थिला राइट नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन 7 again एटा रिपीटेड फर्स्ट टेस्ट टू which of the animal was carved on the seal of the constituent assembly so that was the elephant okay acha eta elephant to koala can anyone tell me the reason behind it amar to lion capital achi ye re okay amar state emblem to lion kai rakhileni tiger kai rakhileni elephant kai rakhala the reason achi okay jetole constituent assembly debates hala why this elephant was okay chosen as the animal to represent the constitution elephantine size gote ko na seta not exactly the reason कहीं ना सेटा गोटे गर्वर कथा नो कि हमरो बहुत माने वॉल्यूमिनस हे गला कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन टा देयर वाज सम अदर रीजन द एलिफेंट रिप्रेजेंट्स सर्टेन वैल्यूज ओके आउ सेटा कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली डिबेट रे सेटा समस्त तापर एक्सेप्ट कले ओके So mane it's kind of a gentle giant. Okay, it's not over aggressive. Okay, but there are reasons in chat particular reasons. Okay, so I'll go to the that particular part. Mu apanku koibi seta details ta. But apan bi taku bahar kar dei paribe. Why was the elephant chosen? Elephant to thik achi. Why was the elephant chosen? Tar tike history ta dekhiba. Who is the chief architect of Constitution of India? So that is okay, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Right? Question 9. Who was chosen as the interim president of Constituent Assembly in its first meeting held on December 9, 1946? Again, already last test rate thila. Okay. Sachinanand Sinha. Ithre au gote jinsa jo mu kahithili president ta kotu ni aichi France to. Okay. It was taken from France. Tapare question 10. Who was the chief draftsman of Constitution in the Constituent Assembly? Okay, so that is S.N. Mukherjee. See, you see that he was the joint secretary. Okay, holding the office of joint secretary. S.N. Mukherjee, that is Surendranath Mukherjee, played the all-important role of chief draftsman of the Constituent Assembly of India for drafting India's constitution. Okay, he was the joint secretary at that time. Who was appointed as constitutional advisor? Again, repetition letter. Dr. Okay, or B.N. Rao. Okay. The objective resolution was unanimously adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 22nd January 1947. Consider the following provisions of the objective resolution. Okay. Adequate safeguards shall be provided for minorities, backward and tribal areas, and depressed and other backward classes. All power and authority of sovereign independent India, its constituent parts and organs of government are derived from the people. Okay, so which of this is correct? So already hame dekhi dilu first the correct thila. Okay, and second also we have seen that it is correct. Okay, it is derived from the people. Say you question the pachar it is derived from head of the state. Wrong. So 1 and 2 both are correct. Okay, so both are correct. Next, question 13. Who put forward the idea of Constituent Assembly for the first time? Again, M.N. Roy, the radical humanist. Okay. Consider the following statement regarding features of the Constituent Assembly. Indian Independence Act 1947 maintained that Constituent Assembly was a fully sovereign body. Constituent Assembly composed representatives of princely states which were nominated by the people of the princely states. Seats allocated. Constituent Assembly composed representatives of princely states, okay, which were nominated by people of the princely states. So this is, they were actually not nominated by the people of the princely states. See, gote dekhla consultative mechanism re, okay, tanku represent karautla, but consultative process was not with the people. Okay, so that was wrong. See, jo answer ta seti dekhla seta bhul achi. Seta it was only by the head of the rulers of the state, princely states. Seat allocation to each British province was divided among all communities in proportion to their population. Okay, so 80% which of this is correct? Okay, so fully sovereign body is correct. Okay, nominated by people of princely states is wrong. Okay, divided among all in proportion to their population. Say you all communities se kochi. Okay, that is wrong. It was not all communities. Tinita group thila tankara. Okay. The Muslims were there, the Sikhs were there, and the general population was there. So not all communities. So all communities, that is why it is wrong. You can go through that. Okay, sovereign body, right? Seats allocated each British provinces were divided among 3 communities, not all communities. That is the Hindus, the Muslims, and the Sikhs. Not Hindus actually. That is general population. Okay. The Hindus know exactly, Muslims, Sikhs, and general population. Next, the Constitution as adopted November 26. Okay, it's again repetition. Okay, that is 8 answer to 95. Okay, preamble, 295 articles and 8 schedules. Question 16. Consider the following statements. Constituent Assembly adopted the national flag again. It a repeat H. July 22, 1947. Constituent Assembly adopted the national anthem on January 24, 1950. Constituent Assembly elected Dr. Rajendra Prasad as first president on 26 January 1950. Seta bhul thila me dekhlo. Seta bhi 24 2 days before semane elect karthile. Okay. So 1 and 2 only. 3 ta bhul hochi because it is not 26th but 24th January 1950. Question 17. Which of the following committee was not a major committee under the Constituent Assembly? Again, we have seen this. Okay. So that is 1 and 2. Okay. Repetition eta puni. Consider following pairs of, I think, eta kichida questions completely repeated. Eta again, this we have already finished. This also. Okay. Mavlankar. Eta be adult franchise, based on adult franchise, this we have done. This is also done. Not this one is also done. I think kichida questions idhar same yoda repeat age. Sabu hame discuss kari sarchu. Maybe this one. Consider the following statements. There are 15 independent delegates elected to the Constituent Assembly. Independent delegates. The Constituent Assembly worked for 200 days to make the Constitution. Okay. So, which of these are correct? 15 independent delegates. Okay. Let us see. That is correct. The Constituent Assembly sat for the first time. In a span of 2 years and 11 months, it completed its task of framing the Indian Constitution. During this period, Constituent Assembly had 11 sessions and a total of 166 days. Okay, so Juda Deichi, Ethical days is searching, that is wrong. The Assembly, most of its time, 114 out of 165 days, spent debating the draft. On 26 November, the Constituent Assembly adopted the Constitution of India, which came into force on 26 January 1950. Okay, the 8 gote बहुत ही particular से fact देची कि 15 independent delegates, okay, were elected to the Constituent Assembly. Consider the following statements. The word sovereign in the preamble indicates that all source of power under the Constitution of India is not external authority but an internal authority. India's membership in Commonwealth of Nations contradicts this principle. Okay, so which of this is correct? Both are wrong. The word sovereign in the preamble indicates that source of all power under the Constitution of India is not external authority but internal authority. Eta bhul. Okay, amaro both internal and external sovereignty achi. India's membership in Commonwealth of Nations contradicts this principle. It does not contradict the principle. We joined. Okay, I'm बहुत clear करथिलु कि amaro we are a completely sovereign body. Amaro head of the state hele. Okay, queen ho. Amaro head of the state means our president. ठीक है. So both are wrong. So if you can go through the explanation of that. No external or internal authority is the source of this power. Okay, so power has been derived from the people of India. India is a member of Commonwealth of by choice and it has no legal obligation towards the organization. जब चाहे हम बाहर परिव ए मझिरे जो attacks ही थिला बोधे बाहर कर देथिले पाकिस्तान को. Okay, तापर परिस पुनी join कला. The source of preamble is often attributed to objective resolution presented by Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, कोर्ट इसे present करथिले सही Constituent Assembly session. Okay, then question 29. Who adopted the Constitution of India on 26 November 1949? So that would be representative of people, okay, in the Constituent Assembly. Ethi apano tike bhabi paribe ki maybe the people of India kana the power is from them, okay, but who adopted it? preamble रे last रे लिखा ही कोन first line हला we the people of India adopt enact okay तापर लिखियो last line रे तेनु से थ्रू आपण कहि परियो people of India but actually for the people of India it were the representatives of people of India in the constituent assembly. So A will be a more okay appropriate answer, although technically देखिले paper को preamble रो writing को C टा भी okay people of India we the people of India जो तो start होची but it was basically the representatives of the people of India. So A is the answer. Coming to question 30 again एटा already हमें देखी जो Biohar Ram Manohar Sinha wrote the original copies of Constitution of India. The preamble was designed by Prem Bihari Narayan Raizada. So which of this okay is correct? So both are wrong. Okay. ये जो किए कौन calligraphy करथिला I think I had the photo देखिए next class में अपन देखेबी original preamble रो photo टा को को जिनसोडा depict करा है that we will see जोड़ा कि later on government को काट देला. The idea of fraternity entails which of the following? Fraternity माने brotherhood, the dignity of the individual, the unity and integrity of the nation. So we see that already देइछि कि both dignity of individual भी रहिबो and unity and integrity of the nation भी रहिबो. So both are correct. Next 32. Which of the following were included in objective resolution? Power and authority of independent India to be derived from its people, safeguards for minorities, depressed classes, backward and tribal areas. India shall be a sovereign socialist republic. A socialist term ta नथिला सितरे ठीक अछि जो तीनटा टर्म कोन यूज हेतिला कहितिले सेटा इंडिपेंडेंट गोटे थिला ठीक अछि रिपब्लिक गोटे थिला आ गोटे तीनटा वर्ड यूज हेतिला एतरे तो सेटा थ्रीटा हबनी ओके इंडिया अटेन्ड इट्स राइटफुल एंड ऑनरेबल प्लेस इन द वर्ल्ड ठीक अछि सो 1 2 and 4 3 will be wrong because that socialist term was not there तक हमें परे ऐड कर से जो ओरिजिनली तीनटा वर्ड जोटा थिला ओके एठी देनी बट से एक्सप्लेनेशन दे थिला इंडिपेंडेंट गोटे थिला राइट एटा विषय सो दिस इज द टेबल match list 1 and list 2 okay so values in the preamble and implications tara so equality okay mane kon liberty mane kon republic mane kon democratic mane kon so equality okay kon aba vitru
no discrimination based on religion sex etc
yes okay freedom on the activities of Indians set a liberty freedom okay republic hela no hereditary head of the state okay will of the people so say hisab रे आपण that would be the answer next question 34 consider the following statements the Supreme Court had ruled the preamble as enforceable in court of law in the Berubari union case eta hala wrong okay so go to find the correct answer so one more habani okay so that means jeti ki mate second bhi dekhiya darkar nahi only one only two dechi both to habani okay and none ta hi pare second ta then Keshwanand Bharati case 1973 clarified the preamble was a part of the constitution so only two is correct can anyone tell me what was the date of the judgment both important dates eta और मन पड़नी April 23 की April 24 टिके देखिबे सेटा 24th April बोते कि 23rd April 1973 टा जजमेंट डेट कहीं ना जो आईआर कोहेलो केसटा में देखिलु परे कि सेही डेट परे जति की एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑर्डर्स जति की लॉज बना हिची सबु जुडिशियल रिव्यू पई ओपन अछि 24th April okay so all of you please remember and write down that is a red letter day in Indian constitution 24th April 1973 the day of judgment okay of Keshwanand Bharati case eta to gote full class mu nebi Keshwanand Bharati case upare okay so take April 24 1973 date of judgment of Keshwanand Bharati case date of judgment of Keshwanand Bharati case next 35 the value of equality in preamble ensures equality of status and opportunity for all. It also means prohibition of discrimination based on religion, sex, and caste. Okay, choose the following. Correct answer, Abhitu Koda. The value of equality in preamble ensures equality of status and opportunity to all. Okay, ensures what the hell, right? It also means prohibition of discrimination based on religion, sex, and caste. Okay, so which of this would be correct? Okay.
Sir, ensure जो तुम बोले प्रोजेक्ट आर्टिकल गुडा दोचे ना इंश्योर करछि
हाँ preamble टा non enforceable, only part 3 रे जा अछि. Okay, सेठी ensures एटा गोटे broader perspective रे से नहीं कि answer टा देछि both. Okay, but whatever is there in the preamble, nothing is ensured. That is ensured in part 3. Okay, preamble रे एटा कुआला equality of status. Okay, सेगुडा सब ठीक अछि, but सेटा जेतले आपण article 14 and other articles for equality and all सेटा include कले, सेटा ensure कला तो कुछ पाले तो exactly से word पाई एटा कटि जिबा कथा, but से answer देछि आपनकर a, both are correct. Okay, but it does not ensure. Ensure के करूछि part 3, that is your fundamental rights. Okay, तो येटा गोटे ताको loosely ताको धर देछि, सेति में ताको ensure रे से ताको okay करूछि, but remember ensure खाली part 3 of the constitution coach.
ଆମେ जे एग्जाम दबा जे तळे ଆମେ से जिस जानिया केमति एग्जाम में लूज
सेइत पई तो यूपीएससी रो कीज रे भी माने एबे यूपीएससी रो से गोटे पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन रो एबे जा हाई कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट सब देइचंदी जजमेंट तार ऑपोजिट रे आछि जा यूपीएससी की देथिला. तेनु यूपीएससी रो जदी एमती केस रहउची ताले स्टेट सिविल सर्विस रे हे पर सेमती किछटा क्वेश्चन रहबो जोटी एम्बिग्यूटी रहबो. आपण जदि बॉर्डर लाइन रे अछंती ताले से क्वेश्चन रो छाडी दोटा बेटर. जदि आपण बहुत गुडे ठीक करछंती तेनु आ गोटे अटेम्प्ट करिवार कि असुविधा नहीं. ओके, जोठी लागुची कि ऑप्शंस उडा ओके एते क्लियर नहीं ताले यू कैन थिंक अबाउट इट, जति के एलिमिनेट कर परियो, जदि न होउची ताको छाडी दोटा बेटर. ओके, why to lose mark? Which of the following Supreme Court cases declared the preamble indicates the basic structure of the Constitution? Okay, that is the Keshwarananda Bharati case. Okay, basic structure ta what is judge-made principle, judge-made doctrine. Okay, consider the following statements. Those articles that are adopted on 26 November 1949 are contained in Article 294. Okay, तो पूरा particular ये टा देला. The preamble on 26 November 1949 declared India to be a sovereign, secular, and democratic republic. Okay, secular टा हमर नथिला, ठीक अछि. तेनु that secular टा नथिला, socialist टा नथिला. Choose the incorrect statement. आ भितर कोडा भूल. So obviously, okay, 2 is obviously okay, right, that is wrong. Answer dichi none of these. Okay, let us see. Two will be wrong. Two to secular, sovereign, secular and democratic republic. Secular amaro kodi thila 1949 रे.
6 रा आडला.
Okay, so that 42nd amendment adala. So seta just keep in mind. Okay, articles which were added on 26 November 1949 are contained in 294. Okay, seta apna dekhi diyo ready. Article 294 of the Constitution states that Article 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60, 324, 367, 379, and 394 came into force since the adoption of Constitution on 26 November 1949 and rest of the provisions on 26 January 1950. That is correct. Okay, it is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic with Setadara Sitara Koila Thikochi. Okay, the republic is governed in terms of Constitution which has adopted this. Khatadala is a secular term to use Korichi. So, you know, during the Constituent Assembly debate on framing the Constitution, K.T. Shah proposed an amendment seeking to declare India as a secular, federal, socialist nation. But anyway, whatever, seta hei nathila 1976 parjanta. Then the second insula kaila, preamble as on 26th November 1949 declared India to be a sovereign, secular and democratic republic. Secular was not there. So 2 will be wrong, 1 is correct. Okay, so which of these choose the incorrect statements? So 2 is incorrect. Only 2, B the answer about. Okay, not C. Tabare, coming to question 38. Consider the following statements. India became a dominion upon independence as per provisions of the objective resolution. The preamble espouses the idea of fraternity, which inspired from objective resolution provisions to promote world peace and welfare of mankind. Okay. The objective resolution originally allowed territories outside British India to become a part of independent India. Originally, it allowed it. Okay. So, which of this is correct?
The second that is a French Revolution fraternity.
Fraternity French preamble re amara French Revolution ro sei idea ro ni aichi. Okay.
Which is inspired from objective resolution.
Which is inspired from objective resolution. So seta habani. Okay. India became a dominion upon independence as per provision of the objective resolution. That is not true. Objective resolution re dominion upare. Okay. Seta India became a dominion based on the Indian Independence Act 1947. Okay. So only 3 would be correct. Which of this is correct? That is the objective resolution originally allowed territories outside British India to become a part of independent India. बहुत गुड़ा थिले जो माने okay independent थिले सेते बड़े तो तांकर option थिला से माने कोठी भी join कर परिबे India Pakistan or remain independent. Okay, you see the options. The objective resolution sought to be a sovereign republic and not a dominion. ठीक है objective resolution टा. The term fraternity was adopted from the French Constitution. जोटा हमें डिस्कस करथु डिटेल रे कि तांकर जेतु गोटे क्लास बेस्ड सिस्टम थिला तीनटा स्टेट थिला तांकर ओके आउ सेति पई तांकर से ब्रदरहुड टा बहुत दरकार थिला आफ्टर द फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन ओके जेतरे बर्बन डायनेस्टी जेतरे सेति तांको इट वाज थ्रोन ओके सो देयर वाज अ रिक्वायरमेंट फॉर ब्रदरहुड अमंग ऑल द क्लासेस सो क्लर्जी होंतु किंबा तांकर नोबल्स होंतु किंबा कॉमन पर्सन्स होंतु सही concept ru okay brotherhood concept ru seta ni aichi not from objective resolution and it assures dignity of individual and unity and integrity of the nation. One of the objectives under objective resolution was to allow other territories outside British India to join the sovereign India. Okay, so that was one of the provisions. Next, eta puni repeat karna eta just take a slight change karchu. Which of the following is the right sequence in which these terms appear in the preamble? So, sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic. That is B race at the age. Okay. Current preamble, amended preamble. Question 40. The preamble to the constitution is, okay, again, same answer. Ko year is right? That is again B, sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic. Question 41. The preamble of Indian constitution is not a part of the constitution. A part of the constitution can be of use in interpreting other provisions of constitution in case of ambiguity. Okay. A part of the constitution, but it neither confers any power or imposes any duties, nor can it be of use in implementing other provisions of the constitution. Okay. A part of the constitution and it confers powers and imposes duties as any other provision of the constitution. So, out of this, which will be correct? Okay. It is not a part of the constitution. The bhul hela. A part of the constitution and can be used for interpreting other provisions in the constitution in case of ambiguity. The Supreme Court tara judgment re kahichi. Okay, but it does not confer any powers. Okay, or duties. So C or D, that would be wrong. Okay, so Avitru B only would be correct. Let us see the preamble to the Constitution of India is brief introductory statement that sets guidelines which guide the people of the nation to present the principles of the constitution and to indicate the source from which the document derives its authority and meaning. Okay, but a jo option da dechi eta bhalo tar options ra dechi. This is a good standard question. So B would be the answer. Okay, interpret kariya pai because it's kind of a jehetu se objective ta kahuchi. Okay, at a lighthouse type ra it's pointing to the direction. So taku neki interpret ame kari pariba other provisions of the constitution, whether they are in conformity with the preamble or not. Question 42. Most essential feature of parliamentary form of government is sovereignty of parliament, written constitution. Okay, sabuda feature hi pare most essential se kochi. Accountability of the executive to the legislature and independence of the judiciary. Okay, so if you can see, sovereignty is the main feature of parliamentary form of government, in which the state bears a defined, okay, territory which administers its own government and is not subject to and is not dependent on other powers. Okay, sovereignty of the parliament. So it is a essential feature of parliamentary form of government. All are features of parliamentary form of government. Okay, but most essential feature ta the constitution is defined as a law of the land, fundamental law of the land, administrative law of the land, or constitutional law of the land. Okay, so obviously that is we have seen. Okay, that is the constitutional law of the land. D tara answer thila. Next, the chief source of political power in India is the people, the constitution, the parliament, or the parliament and state assemblies. So the people, they are the main source of power. The source of legal authority or sovereign in India flows from, again, it will be the people of India. B is the answer. The ultimate sovereignty resides with which of the following? D is the answer. Okay, that is the people. Again, a tinta question, same different year. So the submission of evidence, okay, जो major jurist होते British jurist, जे कि से rule of law टा propound करते ले. Okay, is that constitution is legal sovereign recognized by the court, although the ultimate political sovereignty may and does reside in the people. Okay. On which date the Constitution of India was adopted and enacted by the Constituent Assembly? So again repeated. So November 26, 1949. C is the answer. 48. The members of the Constituent Assembly were directly elected by the people. It have we already dekhichu, but it is Olga ye achhi nominated by Indian National Congress, nominated by rulers of Indian states only. Okay, so all of these are wrong. Elected by the provincial assemblies and nominated by rulers of Indian states. So this is correct. Partly elected and partly nominated. So D is the correct answer. Tapore, question 49. The Provincial Constitution Committee of the Constituent Assembly was chaired by, so already set I discussed karthulu, that is Sardar Patel. Okay. Who among the following was the permanent chairman of the Constituent Assembly? Okay. So, ke thile? Dr. Rajendra Prasad thile? Okay, they are the option 9, so none of the above. Okay. So, these are the first 4 chapters. Kichi questions. Okay. Go through the detailed solution. See through how the questions form for the solution. Okay. Any doubts in this? Then you can ask. Else we'll stop here. Access code करछंती तो घरे जेकी से देखि देबे तो कंप्लीट कला पर चैप्टर सुडा तापर ताको देखबे. ओके, एनी डाउट्स? फाइन. सो आज आपनकर आउ रहइबो 2 टा रु 4 टा पॉलिटिकल साइंस रो पीएसआईआर ऑप्शनल क्लास टा रहइबो. ओके, तापरे नेक्स्ट क्लास वी विल बी हैविंग ऑन 17th. ओके, रजा पर रहइबो. बट एटा आपनकर इंटरव्यू क्लासेस सुडा राति रे चलिबो. तो even जो माने नुआ भी होचंदी, so you can also attend those classes. तो एबे टू अपन टिके दिए इंटरव्यू भी 250 मार्क्स, तो सेटा भी गोटे 2250 रु गोटे सब्सटेंशियल मार्क्स सेथरे भी आछी. होम साइंस क्लास अछि 4 to 6. ओके, होम साइंस क्लास 4 to 6 रे, एंड आफ्टर दैट 9 रे में देखिए बार Right? Any doubts? Any other doubts? Else we'll stop here.